Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special on-site episode of Milwaukee Beer Review. As always, I'm Josh.
I'm Ross.
And today, we are here with Matt from Sahale Ale Works. We are actually on-site at Sahale, and we are here to talk a little bit about the brewery itself and their big 5th anniversary celebration that is coming up here in the next few weeks. So, Matt, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming out.
We're going to ask you a few questions. We've got a general list of questions, typical brewery questions here, but hopefully everybody can learn a little bit about what's coming and what things are going to look like here for the 5th anniversary coming up in a few weeks. So let's get this thing kicked off. Matt, how does it feel to be celebrating the 5th anniversary of Sahale Ale Works?
Kind of surreal. In some ways, it feels like we just opened yesterday, and some days it feels like we opened 20 years ago or more. Like it's been a long, interesting road, but yeah, we opened about 7.5 months, 8 months before COVID hit. So that was a real interesting time, and we didn't know at that point if we'd even last a year. We didn't know what the road ahead looked like, so it's pretty cool to be coming up on 5 years.
Nice. Can you tell us a bit about like the founding or how you came to Sahale, like how it came about?
Sure. Yeah. So I was brewing professionally in the area and also out in California and Colorado. I started out as a home brewer in college before I became a professional brewer, and always was kind of a dream to open my own place. But yeah, after 10 years of professional experience, me and my wife were able to manage to get the money together to start this little tap room, and it's been going well ever since. So this was the plan, just to serve direct to the consumer and provide fresh, new, interesting beers whenever possible, or as often as possible.
It's a nice place here, beautiful day, and lots of good beer to drink, so you guys did a great job.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about the anniversary and what's coming up here in the next few weeks. So what special events or promotions do you have planned for this big 5th anniversary celebration?
Sure. So we always throw a big anniversary party. This is, I think, the 3rd year we've made it a 2-day celebration. So both Saturday and Sunday. It'll be July 20th and 21st this year. On that Saturday, we kick it off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We have live music. We have some food trucks coming in, and then plenty of good beer. One thing special we're doing this year is we have 5 collab beers with breweries that are kind of special and instrumental in my career. So I can give you a rundown of those if you'd like.
Go for it.
Yeah. So first one is with Lakefront Brewery. We did a dry hop Czech lager, which might taste more like an IPL. We're using a newer Czech hop that I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know what it tastes like, but the description is very fruit forward. So got to brew that with them. That's where I started my career as an intern, and then eventually went back there as our quality manager. Also did one with Three Sheeps. I was their head brewer for 3 years. That was the first place I was a head brewer. Got to do a lot of recipes there, helped build the barrel age program, so that was really cool. Me and Grant both love Belgian beers, so we did a farmhouse ale, and we love working with fruit as well, so that's farmhouse ale actually with pear. Haven't tasted any of these yet, so it'll all be interesting. I'm sure they'll all be great, but then we did one with Working Draft. We actually I have tasted that one, at least the initial one. That was the first brewery we collabed with 5 years ago. So we're rebrewing an Ode IPA we did with those guys. We also did a 5-county collab a county-wide collab with all 6 breweries in the county of Ozaukee County. So all of us got together, came up with a concept and a recipe, and then just earlier this week got together to brew it all. So that's a wheat ale brewed with rhubarb and back sweetened with honey. So we got rhubarb from Woody's vegetable farm here in Ozaukee, and then we back sweetened it with Cala's honey. Cala's is owned by a gentleman who resides in Ozaukee County, even though the business is in Milwaukee. So we got a lot of Ozaukee connections there. And then to top it off, my favorite beer is PBR. And I know the director of brewing operations there, and I threw it out to see if he would come and brew with me, and he agreed, and actually got sanctioned by by the higher ups to make it official, but we're doing a collab with Pabst as well. So
Sounds awesome.
so that should all be some fun stuff. On top of that, we do have our annual anniversary beer, which is the same but different. So I brew an Imperial Wild Ale. So this one is looking like 12% alcohol in that range. And I use 3 different fruits based on the color of the anniversary. So this year it was pink. So I got pink guava, dragon fruit, and prickly pear cactus in it. So yeah, that's been aging for about 4 or 5 months in stainless under pressure to try and drive some of that cool yeast character.
So are these all on tap all day? Are they like time taps or?
They will be on tap all weekend,
Okay.
all day, along with our 4 year rounds. That's kind of planned for the lineup.
Nice. That's awesome. That sounds really good. So what inspires your beer recipes? Like how you decide what brews to create? What kind is your inspiration behind what you do?
Sure. A lot of it comes from food. Like I've done a lot of stuff like based on like a lemon meringue pie beer, key lime pie, s'mores, things like that. So we do that. I'm a big German beer fan, so do a lot of German styles. Anything that sounds interesting or unique, I love to go that route. If I come across an ingredient I've never used before, but sounds interesting and flavorful, like I always try and figure out a way to work that in. Also, I'm always getting feedback from consumers and happy to try and work that in a recipe whenever it makes sense. Also like to just do variations of beers I've done before if I figure out an interesting way of expanding what that beer could be. So.
That's awesome. Very, very cool. So all these beers, you've got your 4 seasonals, you've got all these new beers coming out all the time.
Yeah.
What's your personal favorite beer that you have brewed since Sahale opened, and why?
Oh, that's a difficult one. So I love my Munich Dunkel if it's like something I brew regularly. I'm also a huge barrel-aged beer fan. So 2 of my proudest beers for barrel aging are, I won a festival barrel-aged beer medal, was that 2022, I think, for a beer I made here, which was an Imperial Brown Ale that we soured, and then it was aged in bourbon barrels, and then with sweet cherries. So that one was pretty cool. And then our Leap beer, which was 4 years in the making. It was totally experimental. I didn't know if it was going to turn out, but Leap Day 2020, I filled a barrel with a barley wine, and then every year I moved it into a different barrel. So I spent time in 4 different barrels, and after 4 years, it was over 17% alcohol, and it tasted awesome. Like one of the probably the most difficult and expensive beers I made in my entire career. So I was really thrilled that it turned out. It wasn't just a cool project, but like the results were awesome.
That's awesome.
And the public loved it. It wasn't just me that was happy with it. So that's always a bonus.
So you talk a lot about different ingredients. You seem to really love to experiment with different kind of varieties of things. Anything you've recently started experimenting with that you're either playing around with or an upcoming beer you got coming out?
Yeah, so we're not really an IPA heavy brewery, but it's obviously a popular style of beer. We usually just have one on, which is our year-round hazy IPA, Skybreaker. But I've been getting pushed a little more into those. So to do something interesting, we've been using Phantasm powder, which is dried grape skins from New Zealand that help boost the flavor and fruity flavor and aroma, and work in concert with what's called thiolized yeast. They're genetically modified to also boost the fruit and fruit flavor and aroma when combined with the Phantasm powder. And then I've been bringing in different hops as well, just like looking and seeing what's popping up online, what's available and sounds interesting. So we've been running a series with those. And yeah, I'm always looking for new and interesting things. I love working with like flowers, like lavender, rose. I've made beers with Staghorn sumac, harvested from River Edge Nature Center up in Stockville.
Okay.
which gives it kind of like a lemony and almost like green tea like character. It's a really fun ingredient to play with. You don't see that in too many beers, so
That's
it's
super
interesting
cool.
to see how that would play out.
I love it though. That's awesome. All right, so let's finish this thing up strong. So you've brewed a lot of beer. What historical figure would you like to brew beer with if you could bring them back today and they could brew a batch with you?
Sure. Yeah, this was a question that made me sweat a little, put me under pressure. But like as I mentioned earlier, Pabst Blue Ribbon's my favorite beer, so I'd have to say I'd like to brew with Captain Pabst. I don't know if he knows much about brewing, but but it'd be fun to hang out and hear his stories about captaining a ship and yeah, hear some stories that
would be cool.
he's done and come up with a recipe to honor him.
Well, very, very cool. Anniversary party coming up. You want to give everybody the details on exactly when to be here, when it's happening, and all that good stuff?
Sure, yeah. Come by July 20th, Saturday, July 20th from 2 to 9 p.m. Like I said, we have live music and food trucks all day. And we're doing it again on Sunday, and that'll be from noon until 7 p.m. Again, we'll have food trucks, some more live music. We're actually holding a raffle, so wear your Sahale gear. And for every beer you drink, you'll get a raffle ticket to win some cool prizes, including beer for a year, and maybe a vertical of our anniversary beers, and coming up with some cool prizes. So,
all right,
come and drink.
Yeah,
and party.
July 20th, be here. Awesome stuff, Matt. Thanks for your time today. Sahale Ale Works here in Grafton. We're pumped for the anniversary, and it's been great spending some time with you today.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
You too.